All right, let's take a look at the morning newspapers. Once again, we're joined by Laura Dunn and Natasha Devon. I hope you're happy with that weather forecast, by the way. It's going to be nice next week.
That's good. Got my fans. All okay.
Really? Everyone's prepared and ready. No air conditioners, though, because as we reported yesterday, they've all sold out. Anyway, let's start with the football. Natasha.
I'm really happy if you're an England fan and you're enjoying the World Cup, but honestly, I couldn't have less of an interest, personally.
None at all.
None at all. But I hold no judgment for people who do have an interest in it. It's just not my bag.
Fine. Well, thank you for that, that assessment of it. Laura, what do you make of...
Well, I must admit, I didn't watch the game last night. I went to bed early for the early wake-up call this morning. But, yeah, I mean, it's great news, isn't it? I'm as I've said before, I'm Welsh, so rugby is my thing. But, you know, great sort of pick-me-up, nice sort of vibes over the weekend, and we'll start the working week with that positive energy. And I know you're looking forward to the game on Wednesday, I've been told.
Yes, looking forward perhaps with a trepidation. I'm going to see if I can tempt Natasha into having another comment on it. What about the fact, if England were to win and Andy Burnham takes the job the next day, the sort of the bounce that the country would get in the new Prime Minister?
I do think that it's interesting the way that sport has such an impact on the tone and mood of a nation. A friend of mine drives for a living and says that the last time that England played, again, because it's at funny times, isn't it, and the pubs are opening for longer, said that everybody was driving really erratically the next day.
Because they're all a bit... Oh, dear.
Presumably.
I thought it was going to be a positive thing. All right, fine, Natasha. We'll ask you again
about
work harder
football.
than that. All right, let's move on to this. Oh, it's a weather story. OK. So the records have been set and broken again this summer. And I keep reminding myself that we're only sort of at the beginning of July, really.
OK, two really terrifying statistics for you. One, in 20 years' time, 92% of British housing stock will be at risk of overheating, which essentially means that it won't be habitable, that if you live there, it will increase your chances of becoming ill or even of dying. Another terrifying statistic, by 2055, we will be in a 5 billion litre water deficit in Britain every single day. This is urgent. This is not just about lovely weather. I know that a lot of people enjoy the warm weather, but it's not meant to be this hot in Britain. And we are seeing the consequences of climate change play out. And we need to make our country more resilient to these extreme temperatures and also pursue net zero with enthusiasm. So it's very unhelpful that Kemi Badenoch apparently has prevented MPs who are opposed to her doing essentially a U-turn on net zero from re-standing in the forthcoming general election.
Former Conservative advisor, what do you make of the way your party's changed its position on net zero from being sort of really at the front of pushing forward the need to get renewable energy as our main source of energy in this country to now what we're hearing from Kemi and the leadership? Yeah,
so I think that's right. It's actually candidates, so people who want to stand for Parliament, they have to sign up to certain policy shifts and positions. And I think that's right, because that's the leadership that Kemi wants to take. And I think also net zero, you can't deny that, climate is changing. We're seeing that real impact day to day, but it's also, I think, the cost on households. And I think there's that angle as well, that cost of living that she's concerned about and the voters are as well. But, those are really concerning statistics that you say, and we're seeing it now. And things like, I came back to London in the middle of the week, the train, how is it that we don't build trains or infrastructure that can't cope with the heat, so we have to go slower, and we can't get a fan for love nor money. If you wanted to make a quick buck, you could sell them on eBay right now and be a rich person. But yeah, I think it's one of the things, again, we talked about in the previous slide, didn't we, the cost of this, and what can the government do to help mitigate some of these risks, because they're not going away.
But the thing is, Conservatives and Reform are both kind of breaking that sort of uniformity, that we need to deal with it quickly because of the risks that are coming down the track. It's not helpful, is it? No,
but these quick fixes aren't going to solve the problems now. We need to have those longer-term discussions. And we keep saying about Andy Burnham, what we're going to see in a week's time. That's another issue that I think we need to have some sort of meat on the bones about what is the policies that they're going to take forward. And particularly, if Ed Miliband, does he stay in his role, or is he going to go to Treasury and be Chancellor? how is all that going to change? So there's a lot of unanswered questions and uncertainty, I'm afraid.
I'm old enough to remember when the Labour Party had a £28 billion green energy plan that got scrapped.
They did.
If you can think back that far, it's only a few years ago now. Natasha, take us into this reporting. The Observer have a really striking front page, which is there. I don't know if you have the front page. This is about the wife of President Assad and potential questions she might have to answer.
Extraordinary. So Asma al-Assad, also known as Emma, was born and raised in London and has British citizenship. And what they're saying is there might be an opportunity here because there are, at the moment, multiple arrest warrants out for Assad. But Syria is not signed up to the Rome Statute, under which the International Criminal Court was created. But Britain is. And so they're saying this creates an opportunity because Asma al-Assad was instrumental, according to this Observer reporting, in a lot of what was happening under the regime. There's an opportunity to pursue her more than we have been doing. At the moment, David Lammy, when he was Foreign Secretary, said she's not welcome in the country, but it doesn't seem to have been pursued beyond that statement.
Do we know where she is and where he is? Are they both in Syria at the moment?
They're last seen in Dubai, but we don't know if they're still there.
How interesting. Yeah, as a British citizen, of course, there might be some legal cases against her.
Yes, but potentially, and obviously the citizenship is not being revoked. And like we just said, apparently, you know, they both have residency in the UAE. So, I don't know, interesting one there to keep tabs on. I always remember when American Vogue did a feature about her and very glamorised it, and I just so distasteful now when you look back at it. You know, knew what was going on at the time. So, absolutely. Yeah, very concerning.
Let's move on to this then, Laura. In the Telegraph, it's back to net zero.
Yeah, so a bit of a fun one. So, you know, I remember being at the airport once and seeing a diplomat with the bag, and it looked like they were carrying their laundry, but obviously it was the state secrets. And in a bid to, you know, look at the targets around net zero and carbon, etc. So the diplomatic bags that those secrets are carried in are going to be made of lighter recyclable packaging, and they're going to be bulked up, so they'll be sort of less chipped and also tracked. And apparently the adjustments will reduce the laundry volumes by 11% to just over 15,000 bags. And a friend who works at the Foreign Office, she's had to carry one in her time, and she says, you know, they're quite heavy and you do have to hang around for them. So, yeah, it's an interesting way to kind of maybe cut waste in our departments that people don't actually see.
Have you ever seen one of these things? You should describe what they look like. I've never seen one of these diplomatic bags.
It's kind of like, you know, a big like mail sack, a big white bag, and it has, you know, FCDO on it, diplomatic bag, and you know, everyone sort of like wants to have a look, but not get too close in case there is something a little dodgy in there. But
that's so interesting.
You know, maybe look out for one next time you're at the airport. Maybe even if waiting in the queue in the EU.
Don't tempt it. All right, so let's move on to this, Natasha. Headline: where has all the plumpness gone?
This is a feature which is in the Telegraph, and the author is saying that on the pen is apparently the new not eating carbs, that particularly in urban areas in the city, that everybody is taking GLP-1s. I actually had to do some research into GLP-1s, and what I discovered was that they reckon about 1 in 10 people in Britain is currently taking them. The vast majority off-label, so they haven't been prescribed it by their GP, they have obtained them from elsewhere. And something else that I discovered is that an estimated 40% of people who are taking them are functionally malnourished. So it takes away any desire to eat, and no matter what size you are, guess what? You need to nourish yourself.
It's incredible. And we were just reporting yesterday that there's going to be a pill coming made by one of these manufacturers. And that will increase the number of people that are on them as well.
I think it launched this week, actually, and there was obviously quite a rigorous process you have to go to get it. But it'd be interesting to see if more people take that up, perhaps if they don't want to inject, and actually a pill is a better way. But, yeah, it's with all medication, it's new medication. It's very interesting to see how this will work, and you know, people need to eat and stay hydrated if they're taking it. You know,
nourished well,
simple stuff.
While you're taking that. Okay, final thing. We've got about 30 seconds left, and I see the word Christmas, and it's July. Go on,
sorry about this, but if you're at Wimbledon, obviously it's finals today. Get to the gift shop because you can get your baubles for £40.
Is that a good price for a bauble?
I think that's quite reasonable. I mean, my parents collect Christmas baubles from other retailers, and I have to go in August to the yearly trip to get one. And
excellent.
inflation has had an impact, can I say?
Baubles?
Find your joy where you can.
Absolutely. Find your joy where you can. Some find it in football, Natasha.
Some do, and I'm very happy for them.
Right,
We'll be watching you on Wednesday for that.
I'm confident. Laura and Natasha, thanks both for being with us. Have a lovely rest of your Sunday. Stay with us. Headlines next.
What's the best thing about being a Sky News journalist?